Welcome everybody. This is National Master Cengiz Hasman from Cyprus, and this is my video on how to beat a Russian Grandmaster. In this game, my opponent is Grandmaster Alexander Cherniaev. Guess where from? From Russia. And his rating was 2446 at the time. This was played in the London League in 2011, and I have the white pieces. So I start off with my traditional d4 move, and knight f6 is the reply. c4, d6. Here I am not sure what my opponent will play. He could play g6, King's Indian defense. He could play this rare variation with bishop f5 after my knight c3 move. And he could play what was played in the game e5 or the old Indian, or knight b d7 and e5. I found out later on that my opponent had actually written a book on the old Indian, on the new old Indian, and I've actually purchased this book, and it's quite good, and so I'm playing against an old Indian expert, really, without knowing it. I didn't play the most popular move, knight f3, which he may have been expecting. I played a solid e3 move. His reply was queen e7, a little bit unusual, but does have logic to it. So it prepares to push the e4 pawn at the right time and fianchetto the kingside bishop. Now he plays his e4 and now g6, signaling a transposition into the King's Indian defense. And I have played the King's Indian a lot, inspired by Kasparov himself. Yes, so I attack this pawn with queen c2, and bishop f5 protects. Now, you can pause the video if you wish. I am quite happy with this, quite proud of this move I've played. Yes, my move is knight d5, and queen d8 would be a waste of time for him, because he's played his queen to e7 and then he has to go back. Queen e6 is a massive blunder. He loses his queen. So the logical move is what he played, knight takes d5. So what have I achieved here? Well, I have the semi-open c-file in my favor. I'm attacking this c7 pawn. This is a target, even though he's protecting it at the moment. And this d5 pawn is doing a good job in protecting controlling two important squares, e6 and c6, especially c6, stopping his knight from developing there. If you were to play knight d7, the c7 pawn drops. Anyway, he played bishop g7, preparing to castle, and I tried to delay this or stop this with bishop b5 check. He gives up his right to castle, and here I don't play the best move, which is castles. I play the developing move, knight b3. I want to free up this bishop so it can move, and then my knight can attack this b7 square from a5 at the right time. Anyway, my bishop is attacked, I retreat to e2, and c6 comes. What would you play in this position? If you can pause the video and have a think. My move is bishop d2, giving up this d5 pawn in return for piece activity, which is very important in chess. In many occasions, it's more important than material, than points, than having extra pieces. Because using pieces is very important. Anyway, c takes d5, and I think I get a bit carried away here. I make a move which is too aggressive. I play g4, which is an inaccuracy. Why? Well, after bishop e6, this g4 pawn becomes a permanent target. If I move the bishop off this diagonal, I lose the pawn, and it can be attacked by the queen. And if I do try and castle with the queens on the board, then my king side is very weak because of this. But the positive thing is I'm showing I'm not afraid of a grandmaster. I played knight a5 with the idea of then possibly playing queen b3, attacking b7, attacking that pawn twice. So it's important to attack your opponent's weaknesses. And we should also be aware of our own weaknesses so we can protect them, or at least stop your opponent attacking them. He plays bishop f6 with the idea of king g7. I should have probably played queen b3 here, attacking b7, but I thought taking control of the c file was more important, and then after king g7, infiltrating my opponent's position, getting to my opponent's 7th rank. He didn't like my queen there, so he took, and then attacks my a5 knight. After knight c6, there are many exchanges take place. So the position is becoming simplified. After castles, I then fight for this only open file, and then the rooks come off, and we have 2 bishops each, and he does have an extra pawn. However, he's not able to use this because they are double pawns, and after a4 we agree for a draw. What can I say about this game? Well, it's very important not to be afraid of your opponent, to just play normal, sensible moves and just try your best to get a result. Don't be scared of your opponent's rating. I was outrated about 350 points, ELO points, but I just did my best. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.